issues, current issues. All right, so as you know, if you were watching it all yesterday, I always say as you know because I presume that if you were watching me before, you might be aware of the current problems I'm dealing with, or not problems, things I have to get working. Um, the goal a couple days ago was to get the game plan loaded. But then it occurred to me that but then it came out that I don't. Um, I'm sorry, I'm trying to fix two things at once again. Here I am always updating my stream at the same time I'm talking. Um, it came out that my registration, or that my user that had a valid token on my app, was no longer in the system because I had purged and cleaned and redid and refactored and did some stuff that updated the back end. But the token wasn't technically valid, but because it was stored in a different table, the back end was going, oh yeah, token looks good. But it wasn't actually validating against actual data because the actual data said this user doesn't exist anymore. We hasn't been recreated. So I had to I had to go in and start editing the. So I said, well, let's go try to log him in. And it turns out that I had originally created this login function to just log in because I already had a valid user when I created the original token. But now that I've deleted all of those uh, uh, users, I needed to recreate them. So that means registering my character again, registering my test account. And I had never actually tested the register function of the Unity app, and it turns out it doesn't work. so so now I'm trying to get and so additionally, I said, well, you know what? I also need to build in some code that says, hey, if something goes on in the back end and there's something wrong with the user data, that it's not logging in because it's not going to be able to do anything because everything's going to be broken. So I needed to be able to go, hey, when you validate a token, validate that that user actually exists in the system because something could be wrong. And it's going to be a bigger deal during the whole beta testing. Hey, Karama, how's it going? During this beta pre-launch stuff, because I'm going to be doing a lot of stuff and I'll reset data a few times, especially in these early stages, and I'll have data. And it's mostly going to happen on my end, on the local machine. It's even going to happen less often in builds that I put out because there's no reason to be resetting data as much on the builds. Unless I go, okay, well, everything has been restructured and I just need to rebuild the whole deployment. So I'm not going to be doing that as often, but it's going to happen. I'd imagine at least a handful of times. So I needed my system to be smart enough to be able to detect when a token's saying, "Hey, I got a valid token," and especially on the Unity app, right? Because the whole objective there is that your account pretty much will never, I won't say never, but rarely logs out. You'll have to log in only with major changes and major updates. You reconnect and relog in. But other than that, it's just going to let you stay logged in on the phone because it's your phone. So it's going to trust that you are the same person using your phone. Um, so as a result, I needed to have it be a little bit smarter there and have it reset that token if the user's bad. So in doing that, I go, well, you know what? I should at least be able to log out and that delete the token, right? Well, apparently my login button wasn't plugged in either. I had the button, I just wasn't using it. And nor was the fact that I wasn't using my delete account button either. In fact, I haven't even put up the confirmations or the other parts in there. And so I was going to click that to clear out the record, and it's like, hey, nothing works. So over the last couple of days, I've been trying to flesh out or at least implement some of the basic functions of account management in the Unity app so that I can do these things. So it's been kind of a detour in the in my design stuff or in my game plan stuff because um, my authentication stuff wasn't fully integrated. And so now I'm trying to update my Oops. No. Okay. We'll see if this updates things like it's supposed to. It wasn't working before, so I don't know if I can count on it to work again, but we'll find out. As far as updating stuff on my stream goes, let me know. Let me know, Karama. Is my well, Twitch doesn't update thumbnails through this, but the title and the description should update here in the next second. Yeah, okay. It should be updated now. Authentication functionality Detour. Anyway, I kind of know where the current problem is. You see all these little red errors. It turns out that my backend is calling the wrong path. So let's go over here and see if I can fix that. So the idea is that this guy here, which calls the async, I should be getting a valid URL or register. All right, so I'm going to have to run this again. I need to find out what this is getting, because this is supposed to be the right thing, but I'm not. Is it still in block mode? Nope. All right, so what is register URL? All right, so it's missing missing a key element here. Let's go up here. Auth endpoint, get auth URL. Auth endpoint is supposed to be right here. Oh, wait. Oh, because base URL has API in it, right? Development API URL. Yeah, it has API in it. How come? How come that doesn't? The only problem is with this kind of setup, I can't validate stuff in the step through. So when I step through my code, notice how it says public string auth endpoint equals. There's no stepping through that's going to let me see this stuff because it immediately returns the value to the previous thing. Like here, all these returns, it says do this, return this. Well, there's no way for me to read what the function returns until it gets to the next stage. So at every stage, it's reading it, returning it, and I don't ever get to see it until it gets back to here, which now it's assigned to a string, which is fine, but you can see that this is like it's not showing up the right value because now it's missing the API. So why is it? I wanted to see where it's breaking down, where it's not picking up the right object, because it says it is supposed to be API auth register. And when I go look at my server config, which is where it's supposed to be getting this, it is calling this. And now I have to figure out why. I guess I have to do something dumb. I don't like doing this kind of thing, but let's see here. What did it say? String base URL. And it got most of the. All right, let's do that. And here it's probably gonna make it recompile. Registration failed. Resource not found. So when I go here, you could if it's if when I can't switch screens back, that means it's compiling again or doing something, or I'm in break mode, which is what apparently I actually am here. Now it may be doing a rebuild. There it goes. See this reloading domain? Which means I'll have to stop and restart because it doesn't actually reload very well in runtime. So I asked Sora to give me a see how I said Fantasy Pro Football Manager. This was the very first name of my game way back in November when I just decided, well, I started off working title Football Simulator. That was the very basic, just when I was doing my prototype and just trying to get something working in React, and I just had a game that would run through. All it did was random numbers for the whole game. Actually, worked kind of cool. It's kind of neat to watch it. Just go through, figure out the score for each, and I got it down, optimized, made it work. Ultimately, that's kind of throwaway. I haven't touched it now in 6 months um, because I'm trying to actually convert it into an actual real game now. But then it was Football Simulator. Then I go, well, let's give it a name. And I kind of came up with Fantasy Pro Football Manager. I even started, that's actually not the first version. Uh, that's, uh, actually, I don't know. Is that the first? I'm even confused. There's two versions I had at the beginning. Okay, so that's the second version. The first version was PFFM, which is Pro Football Fantasy Manager. And then I put the fantasy at the top, and it was Fantasy Pro Football Manager. And then I changed it to Fantasy Football, which I actually I really like. I'm focusing on it, and that's kind of where the name is right now, as the eventual name. But those are the working names I've had. But anyway, I had Sora. I asked Sora to give me. This is kind of an interesting. I not Sora. This was that's only one option, by the way. I asked you for two. Jeez. Um, that's not bad, but the problem is that's so big. It's not really a title. It would take up my entire screen. It's not very. It's not great. Okay, so you've probably seen this because I've shown this. I have this on some of my things. I kind of like this. Okay, see, this is kind of a cool stylized image. It's kind of slick. I can see putting that on something. This one, but the thing is, it's not a separate text. It's built into the image, which means I have to figure out a way to pull it off the image. But that looks pretty good. This one is the one that I just asked ChatGPT for, and it's just big. It just I don't know. It doesn't flow as a single title. It feels like I don't know. Just I could put it tiny. Yeah, it just feels like fantasy and football are all. I like the font. I think the font's kind of cool. It gives a good feel to fantasy because it's fantasy themed. But it's not doing it for me. I mean, I'll keep it because I think it's cool enough to maybe sort of in a way. But yeah, let's go see what Sora can come up with. I got to get some more options because that one's just not quite what I'm looking for. Let's go see. Let's go visit Sora. Now Sora is ChatGPT's image generator. Oh look, he's got a glowing llama. That's kind of cool. That's a cool lighting effect or whatever they did there. Okay. No background for the title fantasy. Well, give me two options, both with some. Give me. How about let's just say multiple options with some artistic flair, fantasy and style font. What else? Can work. Work. Okay. Product packaging. Type. Title screen. We'll see what Sora comes up with there. I'll come back to that in a bit. That always takes a little while to run. We'll close this off and go back to what I was doing, which was trying to figure out why my my post, my coat, my stuff wasn't working here. So let's see if clicking here does anything. Nope. I don't think so. Okay. I knew I was going to. While I'm in this stopped state, let's go over to my project. I created some more items here. These are pretty tiny. These are my button images. And I wanted to add some more here. I'm not sure which ones. I kind of like this one. I feel like it's the most, I don't know, football game-ish. So I decided to have these images made for the primary purpose of, having something that looks better than these stupid gray buttons. I don't like stupid gray buttons. Never been a big fan. They look like a business applications type of button, so I wasn't feeling it. Now we're going to click on that guy. Or not. Why isn't it clicking it? Still doing stuff. Why are you being difficult? Go. Maybe I change the font. We need a button a little bit bigger too. Let's go with a 40, 50. It's kind of small, but go to the text. What we can do here. I need to come up with a fantasy font in my on my app too. Why is the base? Feel not quite what I want. What the heck is the vertex? What's the vertex color? I don't know what a vertex is. I don't know what the vertex options are here, but guess I can. I don't know. Thing is, that's so tiny because if you really think about it, that's bigger than my. Okay, that your appointment was until 2 or something.
I gotta go to the mall to get coffee pods.
Oh, do you?
My Nespresso.
All right.
Today is recycle.
It is. All right. I haven't. I'm waiting for you to tell me what you want. So this screen, see, that's huge. It's compared to my phone, this big, which is pretty big. That's big. It's way bigger than my phone. So that tells me that if that's not very legible, why is it going to be legible on my phone? So that's not a good thing, right? It should be clean and crisp in practice. So yeah, doesn't look great. I don't know. I don't know. I can't even find where my text color is because none of these are the color of my text, which that I can't figure out how that worked. No, overflow vertex color. I don't know. Fade? Is that because this is, see, these are like full 255. I don't know where the font color is for this. This is the highlight, the outline, and there's the underlay, which I don't actually have. And then there's the face, but the face here has no. That's weird. This is like changing all of my fonts, even though it's only on the logout button. Why is it changing all the fonts on all my stuff? That doesn't make any sense. So that shader is being applied to all of them, which isn't the worst thing. It's just not what I expected. Because if I change any of these, that means they're going to go all wonky on me. Interesting. Let me change the color on that, but the daylight affects everything, which is really weird. Okay, back to task. Let's go ahead and I want to add this button to this too. Go ahead. Wait, how come that didn't delete account button? How come that didn't take effect? That's weird. Option 3, non-material, blah, blah, blah. Oh, because the button, huh. Oh, because these are probably doing something a little different. That one uses logout button image. No, delete account button image. Huh. I don't know why this is not triggering. How are they different from my logo? But using the exact same button. Something weird going on here. There's some weirdness going on here. These buttons are exactly the same, except I mean, in every way, the button's the same, everything except it just says, you know, a different thing here. But if that's 160, 50, and lots of 0.5s. No. Good reason. I don't know why it's not taking effect. Whatever. Be a jerk. Let's run this thing. Fine. Be that way. I don't want to mess with you anymore. I'll figure it out. I might have to reload Unity. Sometimes it won't reload stuff unless you actually reload the app. I don't know why it does that. All right, so I'm going to click start here. Should take me back here, I guess. Maybe. Oh, we're not in the simulator. Not going to do anything. Thank you. Kind of funny when you're working on a simulator. The simulator makes you work like you would have to work if you were in the app, which is kind of funny. My local passwords. These are only for the dev environment, so don't get excited. They're different for every environment, so you're not going to go, ooh, I can break into his account because I won't do you any good because I don't use them in any other environment. So, yeah, just saying. All right, so if I hit enter, we go here, and now, what is this value? Base URL. Okay, so, all right, whatever API base URL did, it did not get the right value. So it must be getting what? Production? Wait a minute, where is that set at? I thought that was set right here. Development. Where is that set at? That's not where it's set. Where the wreck of French fry is it? Like, I don't know where you're getting that. Right, so that's what I expected to return, but it's not. You know what it could be? I wonder if it's because I'm not restarting this. Oh, I bet you that's what it is. I bet you it's because I'm not restarting the this code. It's not recompiling the setting. I'm gonna stop this too. Got to recompile it. That shows what's going on. All right, let's go see what Sora came up with here. All right. So yeah, these aren't terrible. They are along the lines. I kind of like the little swirly thing on it. Kind of gives it a little flair. This one's super flary. I like the big Z. The big Z is better. This one doesn't even have a Z. It just said, nah, we don't want to do a Z. These aren't bad. Fantasy football. So this one's not bad at all. I think I want the 2 small, the Z big. Anything here that looks interesting? This one is not bad. I kind of wish it wouldn't have given me any background. Like these ones have no background, which are good. But for whatever reason, that one got no Z. That one got a tiny Z. These are kind of interesting the way they build the dash into the Z. But so far, I think this one is the best. And I could probably live with that. But you know what would be kind of cool? If I had to have a back, I wonder what it would look like if it had like a football in the back. These aren't bad. Let's go ahead and do a remix on this. Let's see if I can get one that's let's see, let's pick one. Go like that one. And then we'll do a remix. Give me some more options. Go on. All right. Now, I'm afraid if I actually don't give it the full description, it's going to like restart. It's really annoying. Let's actually use this. We're gonna go the status option with no background for the title. Fantasy football. Giving multiple options to artistic flair and fantasy inspired font that can work as product packaging title or title screen of an application. Give me some what the CEO is. Give me some options for the title is NFL now as a football. Title is written over a same with title. Do this one. Title same with title. So C including the headers. Yeah. This is probably going to be mangled. I predict mangled. that's that's what I'd go. Right now, if I had to pick one, I go with the lower right corner one. I like the. I mean, if it's going to put a background, I was kind of thinking a football in the background would look kind of cool, but I'd rather it have no background. But you notice it put a background on all of these because I want to be able to overlay it on top of other scenes and just have the letters on there. To me, this one's kind of usable. This one's kind of usable. I could maybe stick it into like a football or a background remover, and it might be able to remove this. I'd have to cut it out and take it over. Oh, that was quick. Oh, see, now that's interesting. Those are both pretty decent, actually. Huh. No, that's actually pretty good. Which one do I like? I just wish I didn't have the stripe. The stripe on the football is a college football. And the football on this side is a little too round. It's like, it looks almost like a, I don't know, like a rugby ball. Because their balls are pretty fat and round. I mean, they have that oval look of a football, but they're pretty fat. That's almost what that looks like, a rugby ball. And then the one on the right just looks like a college football, which is close. But I do like the styling of this one. I could almost work with that one for a while anyway. It may not be my favorite final option, but let's see here. Let's go here. And then we go to my title screen. Insert image. UI. Is it an image? Image. And then we're gonna go. Oh, I gotta go get it. Downloaded it. Let's open it. Common. Don't know why I did that, but it's hopefully it doesn't keep that. Maybe a little bigger, but we'll go 1020. Alright. We'll go to this image here. Drag this guy over here. I'm gonna hide this just for a second. Title. This image in here, which I believe should still be in here. Now the question is, where did it put it? It's right in the center. So we're gonna go here. Let's make the title text go away. And then we'll take this image and we'll try to get up here. Oops. I just did there. Not really the best resolution, is it? It's kind of pixelated. That too big? Something about that. That's weird. It's like it doesn't. Is it not blending in right? Is it just like not the right style? Well, let's stick with it for a minute. It's better than the text, so we'll live with it. All right, so go back to my task here, which was to stop this and reattach to Unity. I think that was my problem. Build it back up. I'm gonna go see F1 today. Probably tonight, 4 or 5, something like that. So what's that? 4 hours from now? 3, 4 hours from now? That's the new Brad Pitt movie, and what's his face? I don't even know who the other guy is. Like, he's familiar, but I couldn't place him. Um, but they have it's got good ratings. Like what, 89, 97, depending on if you're looking at the critics or the audience scores. All right, let's see what we got. Are we any closer to making this thing work? I still got one more image thing I'd like to get working. It'd be kind of cool to have working, and that's my scroll opener. I have this thought in my head on how to make my screens that are scrolls that open up look like they're opening up instead of just being pop up and being an image. I still kind of want to figure out how to give them some flair, some background flair. I haven't figured that one out yet. I've seen a couple of image videos on YouTube how to give something like a moving background. I'd kind of like to do something like that, but I haven't figured out how yet. So, first things first, but we'll see. Uh-oh. Nothing appeared. Oh, is it because my image, is it not making my login panel appear? Or is it, oh wait, maybe we're, nope. All right. So something's not working. But I did turn something off, which is probably not great. Login panel is supposed to be made visible. I don't know why I would have to do anything with that, but oh. Oh, well, that's not good. That should not be on top. I don't need you to be on top. In fact, this image should probably be right up here. There we go. Can I save this? I don't think it's going to let me save. It doesn't like you saving while you're running. You must exit mode to save scene. Whatever. And then when you do that, it moves it all back. Let's try it again. My login panel should not have to be made visible, though. A little concerned about that. When I click here, it's supposed to make it visible. There it goes. Hmm. I don't really care for my mostly faded view here. It needs to be something. I'm actually thinking something else. Uh, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I haven't figured it out. I think there's a way to do this in a way that's cooler than this. I'm thinking maybe like have a book that opens up and you sign into the book, like like and then use like again, it's about getting that same style all the way through the game so it looks consistent. I need to get a good book. I need to get a good book that looks good, as the host there. Oh yeah. Oh, come on. You still didn't work? How are you not working? There's only one API based URL thing in this entire app. I recompiled. Well, that's just the fetching of it. That ain't gonna help me. I need the root. Get the appropriate URL based on build type. Based on build type, we end up here. Server config. Initialize API URL to API URL. So it should be telling me which one it's getting. Well, I already know what it's getting, but question is, why? If it's getting this one, if Unity Editor or Development Build, that's these guys, that's API right there. Where, oh, where is this going wrong? Where, oh, where can it be? It's getting this value from something. How is it getting the wrong value? Wriggly miggly. It's obviously not working, so. Stopped, I recompiled. Maybe it didn't recompile. No, because it would have showed errors. Because if it doesn't compile, then what you do doesn't matter because it won't actually pick up any changes. There is something weird going on here, and it's driving me bazonkers. All right, so we stopped it. Question is, can we just build this? Project. Builds. Even do a clean just because. Analyze and code cleanup. What does analyze do? Run code and analysis. Run code cleanup. Oh. Rebuild. All right, I guess I can't clean it. I thought you could clean these projects. Maybe you can't clean these. I don't know. Rebuild solution. Well, it's fully built. And as far as I can tell, this thing should be calling this one. I don't know why it's not. What does it not? What does it have against me? I don't know. It could be that did I not save something. The thing is, if you build, usually it saves everything automatically. But there is not another place for this to be. This does not exist anywhere else. The return and the call. Yeah, there is no reason for that to be anything other than 8080 API. So unless something somewhere somehow is dumping the API part of that, which I don't see how it could be doing that, should just be calling base URL followed by auth endpoint. Auth endpoint should just be auth right there. And then that's used to build the actual string. So why is it done this way? It breaks it down to the common parts, right? So it's going to get the API base URL, put the common parts together. Base URL is shared amongst everything. They're all going through the API. Auth endpoint is like that particular service uses that endpoint as its base. So that's a lower level everything. And then whatever your extension endpoint is, or endpoints, it could be extra parts, that will come through as well, like user ID or whatever. But you build that on the UI side, or not on the UI side, but on the calling side, calling function side. But question is, why is this being a jerk and not showing API base URL for what it is? So unless I have some other thing I'm unaware of that's this, I don't know. This doesn't make any sense to me. Okay, so where else do we have base URL? String base URL. This is all in server.config. Okay, so that's the get, the me reading it. It's just me reading it. So this is return API base URL, which is fine. At team endpoint. These are all just the parts that are doing that. That's fine. It all end with API. And this is that. And then debug, string. None of these things are attempting to be another version of this function that's getting called somewhere else. So use an API call. Yep. Yep, there's no reason. It should be here. It should be here. Why are you being jerk? I may have to just like restart Unity because it's just being dumb. And I think there's stuff going on with Unity, honestly. Okay, so what time? It's 53 minutes. I am going to keep stopping. I'm going to make a habit. I got to get in a habit of breaking these down into more bite-sized chunks. I'd like to be able to do things in 1 hour increments. Heck, I'd like to get this down to 20-minute increments. I know, not popular, but I can't. If I want to start making this a little bit more bite-sizey, consumable, I need to get these down shorter. So doing builds that, this way I can segment things and title them better, and just sometimes they may have multiple parts, but they got to be broken up. All right, so let's see where we are with this one. Where this is. Just copy button. You better show the right value. Okay. I just want to kick something. Can I kick something? Is that allowed? Is there a cache or something? What is going on here? Ah! Can you explain to me why? Yeah, URL is not returning the API base URL as think that's what I expected to do. Files, we started. Jesus, return. API. Can you explain to me why ambient couldn't read debugger info? No, ask you. I don't want. You don't need to read the debugger info. Who cares? No, because that base URL is the one that's wrong. Right. How was that thing in order to be able to get through the code and read the API base URL is returning? It is not returning path. Wait, it says returning HTTP info code ready. The full URL for authentication. You got to there because okay, well, let's try this. I'm going to restart because this is dumb. That's just dumb. There's so many dumb ways going on there. Let's just bite the bullet, hit file, save project, make sure I don't lose anything here, and save it in every possible way. Maybe I just need to get Unity to restart stuff because there's some dumbness going on. Oh, Unity, why do you have to be so difficult? So, what would be a good like? So let's go back to while I get this started because Unity takes a month to reload. So we'll do this. And I'll close that. Now we're gonna go back. Let's go back over to Sora and close this. I'm gonna upload image. Upload from device. Now I have this scroll here. Nope. Let's go. I made a tweak to my scroll. What I currently use. Where is my scroll? Hey, where the heck did it go, man? Exactly. But I don't know. I guess I have to use the one that's in download because I don't know where the other one is. I need this useful, but without the flash drive. This for you. That's spelling. AI. AI is usually pretty good if you spell things bad. All right, hey, we got it loaded. All right, let's see what happens now. Honestly, I'm really kind of just flummoxed. Flummoxed. I think that's the right word. Um, and understanding why it doesn't want to load the correct. I'm hoping it was caching something, and then maybe by restarting it won't be caching anymore. I don't know. It was doing something weird, but we are over my 1 hour point, so this is my last try for this stream. Hoping it's a Unity's being a jerk problem, not nothing. Where's my code? What's it doing? You're like, hello? Yikes. Still doing stuff. I think it's doing stuff. Is it like frozen? Are we waiting for it to compile on the Unity side? What is going on here? All right. I guess we're going to restart the program because apparently it blew the snot up. Do not know what just happened. I hadn't even tried to connect it to Unity yet. It just kind of went, nope. There it goes. No. Use the mouse wheel to switch between. Really? I do like the multiple tabs, to be honest. All right. Well, touch Unity. Hopefully we're not gonna give me any lip here. Oh, I hope. Unity takes a really long time to do its building and compiling, and it's not not impressive in that sense. I have actually had it go like 5+ minutes in the past. I'm usually when it's kind of a fresh build, it takes about a minute, minute and a half, or like I just started it and haven't done anything new. But sometimes I do a lot and it can just take forever, and I can like go away and come back. That's not bad. Look, we're already almost to a minute. Yeah, Unity. What is Unity doing exactly? I mean, why? What is so freaking crazy about this? What did we get here? What? I said, look, I said no. I said without black shadowing. Can you do this without black? What did it do? It created more shadowing. It just put a big black swatch across this. What the heck? What is this? I said remove the black shadow thing, and instead it adds a big black streak across. Dumb thing. That was like waste my calls for the day. That was. I don't even know how many I got left. How many have I done today? I gotta go look at my media. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, I might be out. No, wait. These were done yesterday. I've only done 3 today? I don't feel right. I feel like I've done more than that. Those were yesterday. Huh. Says I've only done, oh, 1, 2, 3. No, there's only 3. Says I've only done 3. I don't feel like that's right. Like, are you sure? Are you sure on that? Huh. I did ask ChatGPT, but that's not in the same grouping. Well, blubber squits. What am I gonna do with that? Hmm. You know, I'm gonna try something. I don't think this is gonna do anything, but let's try something. I'm gonna add this. What happens if I take this and add that to it? Can it find the background on this? Oh, it did. Check that out. I do kind of like the idea of it actually just being the scroll. No back on the. Huh. Now 500 might be kind of small, but oh, that's not too bad. Because I may have to start doing these things at a different. I mean, I could try to upscale it using one of my other tools. So this is not bad. I kind of like it without the background at all. The only trick is I do have to keep all my stuff in the scroll because it'll look weird being over the top of the empty space in the top. But I think I can do that. And yeah, huh. Interesting. I did a pretty good job on that. Okay. Well, are we back? Can I see what's going on now? All right. Of course, that doesn't. Why is that not showing up? Oh, wait, we're not even running. Is it not? Attached. I think I just stumbled out the gate. What I did there. My breakfast this morning was well, it really wasn't breakfast. It was almost 12 o'clock, but it was a Taco Bell burrito. Now, when I go to Taco Bell, I like Taco Bell, but people talk about how it's not great for your, your your guts. Honestly, don't put the cheese and don't put the sour cream on there, and you'll probably never have problems with Taco Bell. I think it's their cheese and their sauces and all the weird sauces they put in. I don't know what they're adding to those things. I think that's what messes people up. Because I've eaten them, but if you take off all that junk and then just go home, throw some salsa on there, some Tabasco, perfect. I don't eat Taco Bell's hot salsa. I don't like it. My kids like it. I don't like it. I don't eat their cheese sauce, their sour cream, their whatever guacamoles, any of their sauces. But and beyond that, the only thing you got in there are beans and rice and vegetables, things that are not bad and most places can't mess them up. And then the tortilla itself, and the tortillas are fine. They're okay. They're good enough. But just saying, you want to have less problems with Taco Bell and enjoy it, take their sauces off. Oh, I gotta create an account. Well, you are running. How come you didn't break? Tell me you did not put the API in there still. Oh, it still did not put the API in there. What is going on? Yeah. What, what is going on? Why is it not? Right there, it says API. It's in the developer API URL. It's just why is it not? Is it truncating it? Do I have a length thing that's cutting the edges off? There's something weird about this. Why is it cutting that off? Get auth URL to use the base URL variable instead of calling API base URL twice. I'm not calling base URL twice. Calling it once. Oh, well, that is just, don't be stupid. I'm only calling it once because I want to see this output. That's all. I mean, I could just do this if it really wants to be dumb about it, but that's not going to be the reason. Oops. Let me do that. But that's not the problem. Check its inspector values. Save the project and clear Unity's cache by selecting edit clear cache. All right, let's go over here and see if that does anything. Because there's something weird it's doing and it's driving me bonkers. So we'll go edit, stop, edit. And there's a clear cache option on here. Yep. They're all player press. No, player press. I don't see a clear cache. What are you talking about? Is it here? That's because this is Visual Studio. It's not going to have a clear cache. Oh, okay. Try these approaches to fix this issue with a first check if you saved any changes to the script. Unity requires saving before changes take effect. No, No, I'm telling you, it's all saved. Find the actual asset in your project panel under resources. Select it and check it in the inspector. This set to API. If it shows you're being done. Edit. Try the clearing alternative. Assets. Refresh or press F5. Assets. There's a refresh. And we'll even go up here and say clear all player. Close Unity first and let Unity build it when reopened. No, I don't know. I don't want to do that. That sounds bad. Okay, there's gotta be a way to change this. Because look, it's almost like no matter what I put in here is going to matter. Watch, I can put in applesauce and it's going to still return the same dang thing. That's how dumb is this? Watch, I'm going to go here and I know it's going here. We're going to go here and I'm going to type, oops, applesauce. It's not returning what it's supposed to be. Save. We're going to stop this because, well, you have to. It's just like it's ignoring my value here. I don't know why it's doing it. I've tried to clear, I've tried to restart, I tried everything. I haven't tried restarting my computer yet, but it is 120. You know what? I am going to fix this. I'm going to stop now, try to resolve this issue, and I'm going to restart my computer because it's been kind of slow and acting weird anyway.